generic stuff.
I recommend pajama now.
Pajama now?
Yeah.
Pajama Jam.
Mellow it down.
Fix it in post.
Jagged little pill.
Oh, I don't know. The tigers are making me very upset.
Okay.
What if we...
Isn't there a dog channel?
Ooh.
Let's watch the Gorilla Channel, please.
And the hostess with the mostess.
Do you have your bell?
Cheesy biscuit.
All right.
Where's your
Cheesy
filler bell?
Biscuits. His YouTube name is Cheesy Biscuits.
DJ Cheesy Biz.
DJ Cheesy Biscuit.
I got the cheesy biscuits. You want to squeeze my cheesy biscuits? Come on, baby. Squeeze my cheesy biscuits. Blow it out your ass. Don't you want to commemorate this? No, I don't care. I don't need a picture. It's being recorded.
All right.
Okay.
Here we are on the 30th anniversary of Alanis Morissette's thing.
Jagged Little Pill.
Jagged Little Pill.
She started writing it in 1977.
Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
We know nothing about it. We just heard it.
Hello, everybody.
Talking
Welcome to
into-
Talking Over Albums. Jagged Little
Hello,
Pill,
people who are
episode
gonna-
number...
You're talking
Seven.
into a vacuum.
Wait.
No,
Hello.
Nancy listens.
Hello,
Nancy,
people.
shout out to
Nancy.
Nancy.
Hello.
Hi, Nancy.
It'll be like a backer thing, except you don't have to pay. You just listen to it, and we give you a shout out. All
I
right.
like Prairie Farms cottage cheese. Brought to you by Miller BioLife.
So my only intro is where we talked about before. Jagged Little Pill was kind of its Carole King tapestry of its time. It was everywhere all the time. I remember being in grade school.
I remember being in the womb and going, this is going to be awesome when I'm born and I finally hear it.
So yeah, you had one of those rare albums that's almost 80+% hits.
Yeah, it was what was needed at the time, apparently.
I don't know, everyone go around and share your memories of Jagged Little Pill.
I stole it from Blockbuster.
I liked when Alanis Morissette was...
They could see you now.
Who could sue me now? You're going to put back together the company that can sue me for stealing a $12 CD.
Well, there's all those tapes, too.
Oh, wait.
You son of a bitch! I knew it! I knew you were stealing things! Oh, I stole everything because you wouldn't pay me shit. It's called employee subsidies.
Oh, that was...
What was her naked song where she said thank you, where she was going around different countries
Thank you, India.
thanking countries for
Wasn't that just the
her being
India
naked.
Thanks, Afghanistan.
Okay, the opening song on the album is You Oughta Know, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I remember the first time I heard it. That was the first thing I ever heard from Alanis Morissette. And I had gone to California to visit and stay with my brother for the summer. I was sleeping on his couch all summer long, and MTV was usually on because it was the 90s. And I remember waking up at like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, and this song was on MTV. It woke me up, and I was like, what the is this? This is awesome. I need to know what this is. And for those listening who don't know, I am blind and was like scrambling around the living room trying to figure out where the hell I left my glasses.
Sweater vest.
And
She had a sweater vest.
Shut up about my sweater vest. I gave up on the
Don't talk
glasses
about
and
my
like
flare.
crawled over to the TV in the middle of the night to try and get close enough to where I could see the words at the bottom of the screen to see who the hell I was listening to, because it was like shockingly good. It was really stunning and exciting when I heard it.
Where were you?
I don't necessarily know if I was
Alive?
at a... Okay, rude. Okay, rude. I was alive.
You young person.
My musical stylings were censored by my parents in a good way, so I didn't get to listen to anything but like prog rock from the 70s for a very long time.
Do you care about this album?
I actually was dating a girl when it came out, and she was like playing it for me, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I saw it when I was working at Blockbuster, and I stole it. I wasn't kidding.
That's every.
I was like, hey, I want to listen to this, but I don't want to pay for it.
That's
Out there in hillbilly land.
I'm gonna hit you. You've always wanted it on tape. There it is.
Yay!
There's always a box on the
All right.
floor, and it says CDs $1.
Before we get started, can you just hit him?
No, I wouldn't actually do that.
Can you psychologically hit him? We got that out of the way.
I got my Jagged Little Pill CD along with some of my other favorite CDs from the dollar box.
Yes.
You don't know what it is because usually they're not even in the case, or there's pieces missing, or the case is broken. And
Those are the best.
Exactly. I hate everything.
Listen, I'm sorry. I thought I was burping away from the microphone.
You literally leaned into it.
Go ahead. Have a cheesy.
All right, are we in the middle of something here? Should we leave? Do you guys want to wrestle or something?
I thought it,
All right, start the album.
You didn't say hit the button. You told
Hit
me
the
to.
button, Frank.
God, he's the worst producer.
Well, not on the song.
This is Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill from 1990. I don't know. There you go.
Oh wait, all I really want. Harmonica, right off the bat. Huzzah!
That's how you know it's going to be good?
Yeah, there's no build-up. It's just perfect. And there was nobody using harmonica in the mid-90s at that point. So the one thing I wanted to say, because I do think of things beforehand, Glenn Ballard. You can almost hear this as a folk album that he made accessible. So it's not a timeless album by any means, but he knew how to just put in the basic points to make it pop accessible, but enough of Alanis's personality comes through. It's a total half and half album where you can picture it as a folk album,
Yeah.
but it has that gloss to it, like a really generic gloss to it. It's one of those perfect head-on collisions of producer and
Yeah, it's
new
like
artist.
He took some good folk,
Yeah.
sing girl with a guitar songs that she was. I could picture her. I don't have any idea whether this ever happened, but I can picture her running around with these songs and playing little clubs by herself with a guitar and maybe a drummer.
Yeah.
And he took that and like gave it enough oomph. The masses, the mass media and all of that, no, they don't want to hear that. They don't like girl with a guitar. They certainly didn't like it in the early 90s. So he put enough twist on that to make it accessible, but kept kind of the heart of what she was doing and what she was saying.
Can I tell you what I know about it?
Plus, I love the sound of pretenses falling all around, don't you?
Say my last thing. He provided the surface, the pop surface on which she sort of glided over. A nice surface to just he provided a nice canvas.
After I heard it and liked it, I went and researched it as much as I could at the time. I didn't have internet really back then, and I always loved how she collaborated with so many great people for lyrics and everything. And it was that's the thing that always gets me is all the lyrics are there's a few stumbles, but for the most part, it's it's exactly how it should sound. It's everything sounds exactly how it should sound. It's oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, and one thing I remember.
It's been a long time since I heard an album, especially with a female singer or whatever that was
I thought you were talking about me.
No, that wasn't just straight up pop, top 40 ready.
Her voice was like a whip. It was cracking me in my adolescent ass. It was like,
I would say it's
okay. That was
weird twist.
What's
of
the next song?
That was all I really
with,
want. And the next one is
You Oughta Know.
You Oughta Know.
You Oughta Know.
So I was wrong.
there's the
That's
biggest
not
hit off of
the
that, so,
opener,
know.
it's
Yeah, but
certainly
what was really cool about the last song is
it's a good declarative song. That first song always has to set up the mood.
Yeah.
Yep, here it is.
Here's what I want.
Fifth most overdone karaoke song of all time. But what was cool about the last song
up there with
is
respect.
her
Not to be outdone by Meatloaf.
is her overdubbed vocals in the periphery where she kind of does a chorus with herself to just is a kind of exclamation of what she's fucking saying. Cheesy biscuits. This song was about not Danny Tanner, Uncle Joey.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Who would get this?
They keep
pissed
going
off
back and
about
forth
Uncle
on that.
Joey?
I've seen so many articles one way or the other. It's just like, is it or is it? Who gives a
It's
crap?
it's the accepted lore.
Well, right, but I mean, they keep coming out every couple of, like, I've actually seen stuff numerous times where, oh no, it's not about him. Oh, it's totally about him. You know, it's whatever. It's
just
just
don't
people trying to get you to buy their crap some
I
more.
just don't understand who could get this pissed off about Uncle Joey. He doesn't seem like a great
Dave
sex
Coulier?
machine. I don't really.
Dave Coulier, yeah. He's got a dick like a scimitar.
Where did he go? He had a mild comeback and then disappeared. I don't know.
They brought Full House back for a half a minute, so
Is
I'm
he
sure
in
he's
it?
doing fine.
Probably, he'd do anything. He ain't
What's
doing
it
anything.
called?
He's standing there with his dick in his hand.
Fuller
Fuller
House.
House.
Is he on it?
I don't know. It was only on for a half a minute, wasn't it?
No, it was Netflix. They're doing another season of it.
Oh, good God! Really?
Because
I told you, he's standing there with his dick in his
Wait,
hand. He's
are
got
you
nothing
telling
else
me
to
I've
do.
been missing some John Stamos action?
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
But Dave
Gonna
Coulier.
be when you
Dave Coulier is totally available. Till you
Open
die,
wide.
till you die, but you're still alive.
I'm here to fucking remind you.
Yeah.
See, it sounds really angry, but at the same time, you're like, she'd take him back.
That's what stalking's all about.
It's like,
This is
I
a
was,
stalker song.
Yes. That's
This is
how
the
I've
best part.
I was wrong, baby.
How does she know he's at dinner? Because she's outside the fucking house.
That's how I've always taken the song. Is the ultimate stalker song.
Oh,
where-
absolutely.
You know, I've heard numerous women say stalking works.
It's you've only heard one woman say
If
that.
you get anything from Alanis Morissette, stalking works.
Yeah, that's how
This
I've
is-
always
as
taken
far
the
as
song.
stalker
It's just
songs go, this is right
hardcore
up there with
weirdo
Sting.
stalker song.
It's
Clay
this.
Aiken had
It's
a
Sting
really
is number
bad
one, and then this.
That's
I don't know about Clay Aiken.
that's metaphorical.
The
That's
lyric
more
is,
of
I
a.
wish I could be a fly on your wall. Clay Aiken. 2000, probably 2.
All right.
I miss
I wasn't
Clay
aware of that.
Aikman.
No, I think his official name is
If
Clay
I
Aiken.
was invisible,
Yeah.
And you know it.
it's so creepy. She's like,
in a good way.
No,
Yeah.
she's just mad and she's working it out.
because
That's what I get from this song.
I get visuals from a song. So for me, this is like a peering through the window song, like an angry peering through the window kind of song.
The lyrics are pretty clear. It's not that she ran into him along on the street somewhere. The characters in the song did not break up and then, oh, I saw you on the street and now I'm mad again. No, she's been following this dude. She knows what's going on in his life. She knows what time he eats dinner, and she's calling him in the middle of it just to be a bitch.
I can definitely tell you one thing. Nobody's masturbating to this song.
All right, that was
You want to know.
This is
Oh, this is the abused child song.
perfect. I don't. Okay, this is one of.
Yeah,
this
you're
is-
going to have to just...
This is one of 3 lesser hits on the album.
This is where Brett gets frustrated because...
Continue talking about.
Jagged Little Pill. Can we continue talking about Jagged Little Pill? I had 15 more minutes on that.
The last song. It's the genius of You Oughta Know is that it's just totally unabashedly, I'm a stalker and you can deal with it. And no other song had been written like that.
Blow it out your head.
It wasn't even acceptable. She was just like, fuck you, I'm gonna write a song about being a stalker. And everyone's done it at some point.
What? What did you hear?
I mean, not me.
Who said anything? What?
I don't know. I'm not telling
What did he
anyone
tell you?
stories.
Yeah, didn't this one in Tuesday Night Music Club by Sheryl Crow come out about the same time? Roughly? I feel like...
Yeah, around the
I
same
feel like they
time.
became hits at about the same time.
So I was
'Cause
wrong.
That was another one that I was like, boom. Women singers are worth checking out. Like,
I don't remember the song. I thought there were only 2
and it's not the
Lesser
women's
known
fault. It's
No,
really
you
more
forget
like...
about this one,
songs
'cause it's
shoved
really-
at the end of the album. So
It's
there's
really
3.
more like... It wasn't that women singers or writers were that bad. It's just that whenever they got signed, the record companies would just shove them into that, well, you have to make a top 40 song. Like, you have to be a pop singer. You can't be this. And I think the 90s came around and there seemed to be some kind of an opening up of, hey,
Maybe you don't have to be a knockoff of Madonna.
Yeah, maybe you don't have to be Taylor Dane or whatever was popular at the time.
Yeah, Whitney Houston, and
She
that was all really popular then.
She definitely broke through that where
How many octaves can you hit?
it was the good and the bad because there's some cringeworthy things in here, but she wraps it up in a nice bow. Mm-hmm. But there wasn't really anybody like her who was just kind of, I'm just going to say what I want to say.
Well, no, there were plenty of women who were doing that. They just weren't getting radio play.
Yeah, where you can.
They had to do it themselves.
Yeah, they were DIY.
If you didn't want to be a top 40 pop singer, I think that's...
They were maybe establishing their own record companies called Righteous Babe.
Oh, stop it.
But there had to be a.
But...
I'm editing that out. We're never ever talking about She Who Shall Not Be Named. Next
She Who
song.
Shall Not Be Named is not the only person who was out there doing their own thing at that time.
Pocket.
Oh, the hand in your pocket song.
How many hands does she have?
Oh.
Let's count.
This takes me back to Four Seasons. I think this was the first time I heard it was at Four Seasons in 1996.
The
My
gym or
parents
the hotel?
had
What?
the workout place.
I remember you
Four
singing this to me while it was on the radio and you were driving. And the way you were singing it, I was just like, how many hands does she have? Because she didn't really know the words to it. So she was singing it and like going, and I'm like, wait a minute. How many? You got a hand in your pocket. You got a hand out the window. You got a hand on a cigarette. You got a hand. Like, Chris, how many hands does she have?
There will be no filler bell except on the last two songs.
Now, I like
This
I'm
song
Not the
still
Doctor.
gives
That's
me
a good song.
goosebumps. I love this fucking song.
Yeah, it's hard not to like Hand in Your Pocket.
It's that.
Is this the one where she's driving the car and she's in the backseat of the
No,
Yes.
that
That's
was
the okay,
no,
that's coming up later.
that
All right.
was ironic.
I always think of it
In the
as
video?
but
I can't remember.
that was ironic.
I don't know.
Which one is the one where
Because
she's
it's
running
ironic
around
that
naked
she's
all the
driving
time?
the car and she's sitting in the passenger seat and the back seat
Yeah.
and the trunk.
It was ironic.
And then she's on the hood of the car and then she's like running alongside of it. And
But I love the synth bass in this song. It's
it has a really nice jogging pace to it too. So if you're exercising, this is probably really...
This album makes me want to like get in my car and drive absolutely nowhere with all the windows down.
have
Yes.
a cheesy biscuit.
Yeah, no thank you.
Maybe not in February, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I think I might have actually done that.
I'm very sure.
No,
I
but that was
have.
Anita Franco.
She Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah. That's because I don't know if Brett or I could sit through an entire album without going, what's happening?
We're the ones reaching down my pants.
And for a cigarette.
I got one hand playing the piano, one hand flicking a cigarette, one hand I'm hailing a cab, and I'm out of here.
I don't know.
She has multiple hands doing many things.
I'm driving around on my 76 Malibu.
See, all right,
Classic.
Listening to it on a
Malibu.
tape player that's glued to my dashboard.
it's like
The only usable thing that came out of that piece of shit Accord I had.
so. This album falls perfectly into the things I can do for this podcast because there's enough of it that I can talk over, but it's not perfect enough where I'm just going to sit there and listen. Because it's getting to that point where I just want to listen to the album. It is that good. And it's aged well. Mm-hmm. The only thing that hasn't aged well is this album was just the production and the way it was. She went about this whole album was super ripped off up until about 2004 or 5. So it was one of those weird albums that had a long kind of wake to it, like a long influential shelf life as far as
We're on to the next song now.
as far as pop production.
For our listener,
Yeah.
the next song
We haven't
is...
even been on a commercial yet. What's going on?
You spoke too soon.
Kaspersky. I miss Ronnie Deutsch.
Oh, have you seen that Doc Holliday? He's completely ripped off Jay Jansen. You will be either irritated or you will love it.
He does like a show.
Yep.
This is right through you.
Yeah, this is a semi-hit.
Yeah.
This fell into the semi-hit on this album. Totally remember it on the radio. Not one of those that...
For our 3 listeners, this
Yeah.
is See Right Through You.
Yeah. This didn't...
Do you know this song?
Yeah, it was every single song on this album except for the second one and the last 2 but I still remember hearing them on the radio.
There, right there.
Shake It Like a Fish.
Ding, ding, ding.
I don't hear Bush, but I see Bush.
Not giving you that one.
Bushy.
Yeah, but
It's kind of bushy. Oh, you and your Glenn Ballard. God. He found the Titanic. Big deal.
he knew how to do giant, big, choppy blocks of pop, where he sounds like one of those producers who just had a pre-recorded setting. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. He just had his thing.
Flea wrote the whole damn album. He's like, hey, I can write an album for a chick just as good as I can write one for Anthony Kiedis. And now I'm going to prove it. Because I wrote Point Blank. I can do anything.
Okay, so I want to talk about the origins of that urban legend, because he's not credited anywhere on the album, as I recall.
What album?
This album. But it's widely accepted that he basically wrote it.
He's credited as a writer on every song.
Hopefully. All right.
Is he?
Here's
Under his real name or something?
On my CD, he is.
next song.
Forgiven.
Okay, so there were...
Numerous.
So the album
on
isn't
here.
more. So the album isn't quite as completely dominated by hits as I thought it was, because I don't remember. I don't remember
forgot
this
about
song.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Canada. I
What's the
think
song
every
called?
song on here was a hit in Canada.
Oh yeah.
I got a boil
fine.
on my ass the size of a
Yeah,
kettle.
I take it back. I remember this song. There were so many dominant hits on this album that if the lesser songs on this album had been on any other album, it still would have been a good album. But I'm still gonna ring the filler bell for shits and giggles.
I thought it was the bell you rang when you wanted more egg roll. Where's my dim sum? Dim.
Dim
Yep.
sum.
They're little balls of dough with meat in them. So put some pork in some dough and then steam the hell out of it.
Thank you. Give us some more recipes on this filler song.
I mean, it's so simple and yet so elegant and beautiful.
What I love about Alanis Morissette is the vitriol.
Oh, there's that little nod to her Catholicism, huh? They tried to make me Catholic for 12 years. And
Yeah,
now I'm an atheist.
She could
one of my favorite jokes.
sing.
You can't believe she used to get green goo dumped on her head regularly.
Like it's still at a dip in the album where this wasn't a huge radio hit, but she commands presence where it's just this constant. She's always giving 150 gajillion% vocally, where even if the song isn't that super catchy, it's like, there you go. It sounds like a mountain of Alanis Morissette screaming into my face.
Telling you, that's the Flea influence. I don't know why nobody noticed that before.
The what?
The
Fleetwood
Flea
Mac?
from Red Hot Chili Peppers. He helped her make this album.
Give me some more ice cream.
And I think it's Glenn Ballard they went, hey, we could tell this guy what we want and he'll just do it.
I'm gonna ring the filler bell one last time because it's probably gonna get
He
cavalcade.
doesn't like it when I disagree.
Can you get the cheesy biscuits ready?
I
'Cause
fully
we're-
disagree.
Yep. Oh.
No more filler.
No filler
So,
necessary. He's
this
screaming in
is,
his generic stuff.
I recommend pajama now.
Pajama now?
Yeah.
Pajama Jam.
What's the song called?
Who doesn't want to just put on some pajamas and jam?
All around naked and
Oh, Jagged Little Pill.
Feel free. Now low it down.
Fix it in post.
Jagged little pill.
You know what she's talking
All
about,
right,
right?
so let's try to hypothesize.
You know what that jagged little pill is that she has to swallow on down. Yeah.
Oh, God. You're why women like Alanis Morissette felt the need to write songs.
But yeah.
That's your ass.
That's what I love. Specifically in the 90s,
Sometimes I can't believe I stalked you.
Yeah, well, you know.
Specifically in the 90s, there was this
You won.
There was always this thick level of bass in the mix. Yeah, that sub bass where it's not an actual bass guitar. It's
bass.
that but it's not like the 80s.
It's all about that bass.
Yeah, it's not like the 80s synth bass. Kind of the same
like Flea
thing,
bass.
but like a lot deeper. God, it's so good.
Yeah, because Flea did it. Sorry, I really like the Chili Peppers. But they're kind of my jam.
Pajama jam.
And then whenever any of them goes off to do anything as a side project, I always think, well, Flea did this album, so it's pretty awesome. Remember when they were in Point Break? Yeah. You learn to be Point Break.
Yeah, it's my favorite song from Point Break.
That Pat Swayze guy. Pat Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
Keanu?
That movie was hot.
I've really lost sight of what's happening right now.
What
It has Red Hot Chili Peppers. God damn. It has Red Hot Chili Peppers in it.
What happened to my...
They basically wrote the movie. No, this is what you need to do. Surfers wouldn't do this.
You put a chick singer album on and all I can talk about is Rolling Stones, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Point Break. You guys have a problem.
Swimming in your stomach.
It's a great lyric.
You live,
You learn. You scream. You burn. Get a penicillin shot. You learn.
Yes. Penicillin. That's her greatest lyric.
Oh god, the squeeze box.
That's not nice.
Fix it in post. You scream. You burn. I don't know the lyrics.
No, you do not.
Yeah, she.
And by the way, this is not called Jagged Little Pill, it's called You Learn.
Whatever.
You jagged little pill.
She only says it 45 times.
She always takes front and center in a really good way.
Why you gotta judge? No, me.
Next song. All right.
This is my favorite.
Oh,
Refill
you
the
should say
cheesy
something about it.
biscuits.
No, go
No,
get
this
your
is her
own
favorite
cheesy
song.
biscuits.
She gets to talk about it. Tell us about it. What do you like about it?
already won me over.
Look, he's
Head
going
over
away.
heels?
Ready? Ready? Tell us what you like about it.
I like this song because it makes me feel really happy. It's one of those songs that you just sing along to and you just feel better. I like the cadence of it and the ups and the downs. I like the control that she displays, you know, with the really gentle and then moving to within the whole album. Really, she has genuine control over her voice. She can go gentle, she can go whispery, she can go like really aggressive and like hard and exaggerated. And I think that this complements that part of the "I'm so over you."
Okay, I have a question though.
Yes.
Get back on topic. So we're listening to this song, and one of the things I like in this album, the whole album, is this is one of the first times I ever noticed she was harmonizing with herself.
Yeah.
And that sounds kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Because I think they use it a lot now, but back in the day, I feel like this was kind of new, because I never heard this much, where they would just sample over her, like, and she'd sing. I almost want to know from Glenn Ballard, was he doing that, or was she singing in harmony with herself? You know,
But it's
that would
really-
be interesting to know.
But it's really subtle because it's not just obvious double tracking or like Beach Boys or Beatles harmony. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's a very subtle.
I like it.
And the reason I made the cheesy biscuits was for this song, because this is how you trap a bitch.
With the cheesy biscuits. They do like it when you can cook.
Even though these were not the cheddar.
Yeah, you screwed that up. In
Wrong
my world, you
biscuits.
screwed the pooch on that one.
I know I messed up, I admit it. These were the Parmesan.
Got them at the dollar store, didn't you?
I think this might be all they have. It's not, because they don't want you to have the actual things at home, because then you won't go to Red Lobster.
What? Well, they sell them at Sam's Club.
I don't know. I was like, Red Lobster, and I grabbed it. Yeah. something I miss is like giant blocks of. There's no intricacy to this album beyond her voice. It's just like if you listen to the.
You don't think that's on purpose?
I mean, it works.
Like,
I'm not.
They want you. The lyrics are good. They
know.
want you to listen to them.
I'm not saying it doesn't work, but
They're not drowning it out with a bunch
They're
of
not.
bass
I mean,
or a bunch of overly
the instrumentation
guitar.
is nice.
Yeah,
It's pleasant.
I'm just saying.
There's nothing jarring.
support.
They're not getting mad at you with the guitars.
Yeah,
or
but if
anything,
you listen to the guitars, it's just it's like that one band you hate.
Wait a minute.
Turn your head now, baby, just spit me out.
Oh, Collective Soul.
Collective Soul is just like family-friendly
What's
distortion
the next song?
in the periphery. It's grunge light. Yeah, light grunge.
Sure. Yeah, we're in commercial break now.
For our listener.
For our one
It's a
listener.
commercial.
What was her name?
Brett forgot.
Nancy.
Oh, she gonna like that. Nancy! You have to tell her we mentioned her numerous times. Our one fan.
This is the longest album in history.
Yeah, it's 40.
And we've reached the
it's-
point in the album where
It's 44 minutes. He does this every time.
This is Mary
Oh,
Jane.
no.
Or-
Oh, Mary Jane. I love this song. Shut up.
It's the sensitive.
Oh, no, this isn't the one I was thinking of. Never mind.
It's the sensitive song on the album.
Yeah, I don't like
there's
sensitive
three of them.
songs.
This is the last
That's why I
one.
don't like Collective Soul.
Oh, so
Okay, so
is
Mary-
this,
Mary
is this
Jane.
the I'm showing off my voice song of the album?
Yeah, it's really good. I was gonna say, for never really giving this song a listen, like it can catch you.
Yeah. I have a
It kinda
theory
reminds
about
me
a
of,
lot
like,
of women
musical.
singers.
It reminds me of like a modern musical, like you would
Yeah,
hear that in a modern
storytelling.
musical. Yeah.
I have this theory about a lot of, not all, but a lot of female-centric albums have that one song where it's really just, it doesn't matter if the lyrics are any good, it doesn't really matter if the instrumentation is really very good. There's one song that's just about showcasing the singer's voice. And this might be the one for her.
I was going to say,
'Cause her voice
the
cracks
next
a lot on some of the
album
other
after
ones,
this
but-
one, Alanis Morissette, it's all about what she sounds like
Yeah.
and less about what's actually being said. That Hello India, that
Yeah.
album. The whole thing is just like, it's all like, don't listen to the words, listen to how she's saying it. And you're just kind of like, as me, like a person that like likes lyrics and like everything to have a message or something. And this is like very lyrical driven. And then the next album was such a departure, and my brother liked it so much better than I did. And I was just
Yeah,
like,
that makes
why
sense,
do you
'cause
like this so much?
I tend
And he's
to be much
'cause
more
she's
lyric-driven when I'm listening to
screaming the
something.
song. It's
And
like-
I love this album, and I've listened to almost nothing else she's ever done, because none of it really, I don't know, nothing really clicked for me after this album.
like good range, but not.
Yeah, but
She never collaborated with anybody to help her.
yeah, the songwriting
maybe.
was not as good.
There's an album that I really like. It's Sia's first album, and she's on the radio now, and she's doing like the top 40, and she's on Ellen, and she does great things. But the first album that she ever did was entirely lyrical, and she's very talented. And I got it at a dollar bin somewhere, and I listened to it for months. I mean, it's very well done. Just like that autobiographical nature of it.
Autobiographical?
And then she combines it with, solid use of instruments and solid use of her voice, and, that kind of quirk to it where you get to understand her personality in like a sweary lady way.
Yeah, her
I've
first
always
couple
been
albums have a
driven
lot
to
of
very,
Like, I feel like
lyrically
Alanis Morissette's like a
motivated things.
Canadian, like, she sounds good. Like, she just sounds good.
I'm going to take that toy away from you.
I'm going to shove it right up your
Nose.
hip pocket.
Well, this is the only truly sensitive song on the album.
It's
Because the rest of the songs in the album have a very distinctive, obviously looking for top 40.
well,
Success.
you can't talk about it anymore. It's over.
All right, well. Did we already hit
This
head
is-
over feet?
This is yes. This is ironic.
Did we already get the head over? Did
Yes, we already did that.
It's
song.
not ironic.
Why
There's
do we
nothing
not
ironic
remember?
about
You were
it.
eating cheesy biscuits.
No.
You were so busy eating cheesy biscuits.
Here's ironic.
98?
Let's
I
talk
didn't
about
realize this
how
was
it's
so
not
late in
ironic.
the album.
Me neither. I thought it was
Go ahead.
early on. I didn't know we already skipped.
We didn't skip it. We listened to the entire thing.
I don't remember that.
He'll fix that in post.
Great music video. Yeah. Okay. So what I was talking about before.
It's like rain.
Yes.
Is this one? Yeah! My f***er's looking at me like I'm retarded.
Oh, we were with you.
And I put this up there with "Smells Like Teen Spirit." It's just.
When
Take.
there you go.
It's a great.
Sing it because I don't know the words. I don't know why I can't get this right, but it's your fault.
It's a great cathartic pop song.
How much are we allowed to sing before YouTube gets us?
Seconds.
Goodbye.
You can go like 5 or 10 seconds. That's not big now.
Yeah, I know. I remember I was 10, and I thought it was great.
I thought this was a great song to follow up Sabotage.
All right. Well, maybe you can give me a yay or nay, but I think the actual irony of the song is that nothing in it is ironic. That might be giving her too much credit.
I think that's a joke all the time. It's like, yeah, I get it.
I know.
But she's
It
using...
is how irony is generally used in conversation.
Right, that's what I was going to say. It's like, ironic is like, when people say something's ironic, they don't mean
sure
literally ironic. No.
The song itself is ironic.
Are you asking
Yes
me if I think
and
she'd
no.
seen Reality Bites and learned the definition of ironic?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really think it was that meta.
Can you give me the definition of irony?
It's when the words and are completely different from the meaning of the thing.
That's close.
Okay, I'm going to say it's poppy in that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No one was thinking about that.
I don't even like pop music, and I like this. Like,
no, it's a great song, great video.
I like this song because it kind of like if you, not that it has anything to do with like being ironic or anything like that, but if you're like having a shitty day, you just think of the song and it's like whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it just helps you kind of brush it off. You're
it's
like, well,
sing-songy.
Yeah. It just, it kind of
Brush
teaches
it
you to just brush it off.
Dude, don't try and make it any deeper than it is, man.
You gotta shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah, let's do what's her name album next.
You're gonna have to be more clear.
Shake it off. This is the highly anticipated.
Wait. Let's do that next album next.
That's
like, okay, Brett,
All right,
sure.
We're moving into. Is this the last song?
This is Not the Doctor.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, Not the Doctor.
We're getting into. All right. So
we're getting into
Doctor.
Brett's favorite song.
So there are 4 songs on this album that were not huge hits. But I do like Not the Doctor. Coulier. I do like this song.
Define it, mofo.
I love 90s pop music production for some reason.
Well, they were trying to make it sound rougher. Like, they give it a little sound that was rougher around the edges. Like, what all the grungy was doing, like, all that, It's like, all the stuff I liked, they're trying to give all the radio-friendly stuff a little bit of edge, don't you think? Like, a little...
Yeah.
I love this song.
And I can't really pinpoint it.
Not filler.
It's so hey, Glenn Ballard, wherever you are,
give it some edge.
Picture this,
because this is around the time that REM was doing, New Adventures in Hi-Fi, and what was the one before it? Monster, and
Literally
working with more
identify
guitar feedback, like
bridge,
getting more like
bass,
hard, and it's like I could do this, I could do it. No, which REM is like the band that I always said they could do anything, they could do whatever they wanted. Like, it was crazy. Yeah. I mean, that's what Green is, right? It's just an album of, oh, you want me to write a freaking top 40 song? I'll write 6 of them. Like, it's rough around the edges a little bit, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Even this song, like, this is a very radio-friendly song. What's this one called?
Not the Doctor.
Not the Doctor, right.
Alanis Morissette had a really good a good natural funk delivery to her vocals that was perfect for the time, and Glenn Ballard knew how to come in and be like, hey...
You're obsessed with this Glenn person.
I am.
I know you hated everything he did up until this album. It's like, well, he hit You know,
We are dating. I don't.
I guess every dipshit hits one out of the park occasionally. Like, I don't know. I mean, I really think that he had very little to do with it. He came in and went, I'll adjust the volume here a little bit. So many people were involved with this album.
All right, what's the next song?
Wake up, bitch.
Oh. Is this the other like super stalker song from the album?
I haven't heard it in a while. I don't usually. It's always on shuffle, so you don't get all of it when I listen to it.
Oh, maybe this isn't the one I'm thinking of.
I'll bet you anything this was the first song they recorded. It's so generic.
Well, they're doing a lot of the harmony, which I really, really like.
I don't really mean it,
Self-harmony.
but I still have to do it.
That's not
Filler
very
bell.
nice. That's terrible.
Do you hear it, though? How
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so radio-friendly, but it's missing something, and that's why you never heard it on the radio.
I'm trying to figure out what song I was thinking of that was the super stalker song. This is not it.
Hello, India.
No. There's the one where she like snuck into his apartment and put on his clothes and stuff.
Hello, pizza.
Wait, do you know what I'm talking about?
I wouldn't know. I'm not sure that I would know.
But Brett walked out of the room, so we can talk about
And it's like,
funny
and I put
things
on your
now.
cologne, and like she just like went through. There's a song where it's like Taylor Swift style, going through and just narrating her day.
Oh, you're talking about the one that comes after this song.
Is it on this album?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like a little, it's the extra song.
Yeah.
Illusion.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I'm-
the super stalker song.
That's the
So
Super
you
Stalker
oughta
song.
know.
Just let it happen. It's cool, baby. I'm really, knowing what I know now, listening to lots of albums, like when Brett brought this whole idea up, like listening to entire albums and from beginning to end, you know, there's a progression of an album. Like they build it up like a certain way. Like there's ups and downs and they take you all the way through an album. Whether you like the song or not, doesn't matter. You'll skip a song, but they're doing it in a certain progression. And the way this song sounds to me, I just immediately go to,
Well, it sounds
this is the
like-
first song they did.
This
Because
sounds
it's
like
so
a-
simple.
This sounds like a song that would be like on the ending credit of a movie,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
as they're walking out. So I think it's
Like,
kind of appropriate.
easy.
It's the song nobody's really expected
sure.
to
Lyrics
pay
aren't
much
bad.
attention
They're not
to.
great. The
It's
music's
fine.
not
Everything's
bad,
just
but it's
fine.
not great. Like, it's all in the middle. And I think that's how a lot of
It
albums
is a
end.
fine song.
Especially when people expected you to listen to entire albums. My ears are hot again.
I don't think there was another song. That was it. All right, last thoughts on.
Last thoughts. I'm really glad that Alanis Morissette woke me up in the middle of the night one summer night in 1995.
I keep picturing Dave Coulier going down on Alanis Morissette in a theater.
Well, now you've ruined the whole thing.
Fishy, what do you think?
Fishy's not speaking. I give it a 5 out of 5. Woos! My final thought is this.
Yeah, parting thoughts.
I would like to thank our featured listener of the day, Nancy.
Nancy!
All right, your final thoughts, Mr. Jason.
It makes me happy.
I'm gonna go fix your toilet because
It was-
it's driving me nuts.
Yeah. So
Any other final thoughts?
Blow it out your ass!
Okay, Joanna, final thought.
Yeah.
But for this particular album, there's just so many songs and so many memories attached. I thoroughly do. I really do enjoy what it's done for me, and it doesn't matter to me what it's done for other people because it makes me happy, and I enjoy it and I identify with it. Okay, hey.
See y'all next time. I don't know why I just went to Texas there, but.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast today. Talking over albums, part ? Enjoy your day, and you're a nice person.
It's probably the last one.
I'm gonna hit you. You've always wanted it on tape. There it is.